to the afternoon entertainment hour at OJ's Juice Bar, and here's today's juice.
You ever hear a ritual killing?
I don't get it.
You know, on her face in public like that again, you'll be one.
This quarter, go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Good day to you, madam.
This is your host, OJ, and most of you guys know me as Orlando Jose.
That's me!
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
And welcome back to the afternoon entertainment hour at OJ's Juice Bar. And here's today's juice. Let's see who we have in our studios today. Let everybody know who you are. What's your name? Let everybody know who you are.
My name is Audrey Spearman.
All right. So where are you from, Audrey?
I hail from Modesto, California, right down the street.
So let everybody know what are you here for our presence? What you gonna tell us in the studio today?
Well, I'm here to inform everyone in the listening area about the Black History Month celebration that we are having at the King Kennedy Center this coming Friday. It's sponsored by the Board of Directors of the King Kennedy Center, and I am one of the board members. I'm also the writer and director and producer of our production this year, A Walk Down Memory Lane, and we're going to do it a little differently this year. We're going to do a musical tribute.
So give us a little what you got going.
Okay. It's entitled A Walk Down Memory Lane, musical tribute to African American musicians and singers. And what we're going to do, we're going all the way back to the shores of Africa, where our people were picked up and held in bondage and captive and taken to another country where they didn't know the language. They couldn't even really communicate well on the slave ships because you were just held in bondage. It was horrific. They were captured and held under horrific conditions. So as they were lying in bondage, oftentimes someone would strike up a song and someone from their tribe would hear what they're singing and they could oh, you're here type thing. And they're communicating through music. And of course they're trying to figure out a way to get off that ship. And the bondage was so horrible. When someone died, they just cast them off in the ocean like they were nothing. We all know, well, many of us know the traditional Black history information of Harriet Tubman and working on plantations, but our people are musical people. We are music, and we always have communicated through music. And so the vision was given to me several years ago to do this with a different twist.
Okay. That twist, baby.
That twist, baby. So we're going to pay tribute. We're going to start with some plantation songs. Songs like When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand. Let my people go. Oh, won't you go down, Moses, go way down, go down in Egypt's land, and you tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. And you see, while they were in bondage, oftentimes the songs that were sung in code. And songs like Steal away home, I ain't got long to stay here. My Lord, he called me by the thunder, the trumpet sounds within of my soul. I ain't got long to stay here. The slave masters thought they were just singing some Negro spirituals, church songs, but they were talking about escape. They were talking about Wade in the water. When you're talking about wade in the water, that's right. After we make our run for freedom, the slave catchers can't smell us when we go into the waters, when they have the dogs chasing us. Okay? Steal away home. We're stealing our way to freedom. Okay? My Lord, he called me by the lightning. Well, there's a lightning rod on the other side of the plantation here. We're going to meet over there. Okay? And it's in code, and nobody knows but each other. When we talk about go down Moses, that's Harriet Tubman. They called her the Black Moses. Okay? Tell old Pharaoh, you're going to let my people go. We finna get up out of here. And we are scared. Green trees are bending. Poor sinners come a-trembling. Okay, we're going to escape. We're scared to death. But we're going to meet over there by that willow tree. Okay? Bending tree. You get me? And so we're performing what we call a cotton picking scene, where we're actually picking cotton, and the slave master is cracking the whip and telling us to do what we got to do, and we're steadily singing about getting away. And after that scene, there's going to be a lovely little 6-year-old girl, and her name is Danielle Nichols. She was in our program last year. Do you remember her?
Yes.
And last year she did Maya Angelou's Phenomenal Woman.
Oh, yeah, oh my.
And she, oh my gosh, she's incredible. Well, this year, she's doing Still I Rise. So in spite of all the bondage that we've gone through as a people, we still rise. And she's going to be presenting that. And, there's so many things. I got about 30 people on my cast.
Gotta get them, let the story be told.
The story is going to be told, and it's going to be told through our musical contributions as well as historical facts. There's a men's group, a men's church group, and they're going to be doing swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. And once again, we're getting ready to get up out of here. Swing low, make sure you come down this way, pick us up, we're finna get out of here.
Okay.
Then we have a small choir that's going to led by Cheryl Knox, and they're doing one of my favorite songs, Ride on King Jesus, no man cannot hinder me. Ride on King Jesus, ride on, no man cannot hinder me, no man cannot hinder me. Isn't that great? Anyway, y'all have to come to hear the whole song. But it's a lot of exciting music. And we're coming from out of the plantations. Then we're going to move forward into different genres of music.
Right.
Let's see here. We have the cotton picking scene. Then we have the spirituals, the swing low, sweet chariot. We're doing information, giving information on the how the spiritual songs came about. We talk about the Jubilee singers, and we talk about the how it went from the Fisk University bring about huge success because of their Jubilee singers, and it gave a sense of pride to people. So that, and the contributions after slavery were enhanced. You know, they were emancipated from slavery. We're talking about the late 1850s, early 1900s. And classical music started coming out of that. Classical music started adding piano and to kind of preserve the beauty of the music of traditional black music. And so we have a solo Misty, Sister Sammy Rose will be doing. We move on to ragtime. We're touching all the genres of music from the time we landed here. One of my dear friends, Stephen Key from Maryland, has helped to contribute with this, and he sent video. So the production is going to be part live entertainment and also video to bring about the relevancy of everything. And so Stephen was kind enough to send me a video, and he's showing what ragtime looks like doing Just a Closer Walk with Thee and ragging it, okay?
You sure did a lot of work for this one.
I worked hard. The research was in depth, and how do you edit down? Because there's so much. There's so
much information, so much knowledge you want to share.
Yes. One of the things I learned as I was researching ragtime is there's such a thing called the coon song or the cakewalk song, and there are two different musical styles that came out of ragtime music. Now, the coon song was a racist term that was used to describe the music of the white minstrels when they performed with the black faces, and it was supposed to be funny, imitations of black slaves. But later, blacks formed their own minstrels, their minstrel troops like Bessie Smith and Gertrude Ma-Rainey. And the cakewalk was an impressive ring dance that was performed by blacks during and after slavery, and it brought both Broadway and off-Broadway stages in the late 1800s acclaim, where we started doing it. Ragtime music also became the basis of jazz, the piano style they called stride. And oh my God, it's just so much. There's so much that you want to say, but in a small amount of time, you got to leave some things out. But the research was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. So I'm trying to give people a glimpse and a sample and some history at the same time. God gave me this vision a few years ago, and I'm finally putting it together. And I'm praying it'll be a huge success.
I know, like the last time, first time I came to your show, and I was like, okay, like, oh, what is this place? Okay, this. I got the right building, and I go, okay, who do I have to meet? I go, oh, there she is over there. That's who I gotta talk to, and then she's just told me to sit down and just film and watch it. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've learned a lot, and I learned a lot from this lady right here. I mean, all the different people. They got Serena's and with their what's it called, polio in their legs.
Yes.
And then they got
Wilma Rudolph. Yes.
And then they got what was it? Shirley Temple, and then they got what was it? You guys had
Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got who was the first? What was it, black actor? You got a lot of people from. I was like,
one of my favorites from last year was we found out that there was Princess Charlotte, who was actually the first black queen of England. And everybody said, what? Google it. Check it out. She really was. And the artists of that time were told to tone down her features when they paint portraits of the royal family so she don't look so black. You know what I'm saying? With the wide nose. Point her nose a little more pointed. But yes, she is the great-great-great-grandmother of the present Queen of England. And the hospital that she founded and the Kiwi Gardens, they still stand today. It was incredible. The research was phenomenal. Last year, I tried to present people that were not the standard Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman type. We included them, but we also went out of the box. We try to do things out of the box.
Yeah, I know. And I started, was it sailors? It was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know.
Yes.
And I was like, okay. And then you have had your acts and people read them, and I was like, okay, I got it. Where she's coming from, and it was a lot of information that I didn't know, and then she brought it to the people, for the people of Modesto.
Yes. I'm excited this year. I hope that it's as good. I believe it will be, or better.
Or what was it? The other one? Was it peanut brittle or something? It was a whole bunch. They're making me hungry.
Well, we had crumb with the potato chip. That was one, of course. And oh my God, I got so much going through my head. George Crumb was the potato chip man. And the peanut, like everybody knows his name too, and I can't even think of it. So we're gonna move on past that. But last year it was a success. I found out through the vision that you don't have to have a ton of rehearsals in the way that God gave me the vision, because you have individual artists that already they know how to sing. You find out who do you want to portray. I let them select the artists that they want to portray, whatever from whatever era. And I have something in the blues. I have a young man that's actually, well, he's not a young man, but he's going to play some blues. He's going to do some Albert King for me on his guitar and do some singing. It's going to be really, really good. I'm excited about it. In my research about the blues, my goodness, there's your classic blues like Lead Belly and Charlie Jackson and Blind Boy Fuller, Ma Rainey, but then urban blues started getting popular with the Chicago blues. And urban blues performances were like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and B.B. King, of course, and Bobby Blue Bland, John Lee Hooker. But the brother Ronnie Berry is my artist that's going to perform Albert King's The Sky is Falling. You're in for a treat. Then we moved on to jazz performances. Jazz has sometimes been called America's classical music, and nobody really knows where it originated from, but it does combine both musical traditions from the Black New Orleans area and the blues. So it's like a combination of the two. And there were pianists like Jelly Roll Morton and U.B. Blake, were the early jazz performers, and then they went into the Dixieland jazz band ensembles like Louis Armstrong. He was one of the most popular, and he pointed the way for a lot of the future jazz artists. Count Basie's big band, he set the standard for what we call swing. Duke Ellington's band, it covered a half a century span, and he was one of the most innovative of the bands because each instrument played their own unique sound, and they had innovative harmonies, and they collectively would improvise. And then bebop was, however, one of the most revolutionary jazz styles. Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, Thelonious Monk, there were many of them. Bebop set the standard for cool jazz. I didn't know it was all this. Cool jazz and bebop, and that was like Lester Young, Miles Davis, and John Coltrane. And they talked about hard bop. Our people were just amazing people when it comes to music.
Like when you do the research and stuff that you didn't hear, didn't learn, but then you find out there's more.
Yeah, and you get excited.
Like, oh, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know she did that. Like, you told me about the Prince and then everybody else.
Right.
Like the people that did inventions and.
Right.
Oh my God, I didn't understand. I didn't know they had all that going on.
Yes. I'm learning more and more, and I get excited. I didn't know that there were different titles for jazz, like Coltrane and all that. My brother and them used to listen. I was a little girl, and they would be listening to Miles Davis and John Coltrane, and I had a liking for jazz as a little girl, but I didn't understand there were different categories of jazz.
I know. When you just told me that, I just think of
Right.
blues. And then regular jazz and
right.
jazz and then
exactly.
smooth jazz.
Exactly. Our next category we're going to cover is gospel music, and oh my God, who do you pick? How do you portray that?
I know.
There's so many to choose from, but once again, it's this Black history, so you want to give people not just a concert, but you want to give them a history of how things came about.
A message?
Yes, the message. The Roberta Martin singers, and Thomas Dorsey, of course. He started the religious music that we commonly call gospel music. And his signature song is Precious Lord. Well, Verna Coleman will be singing Precious Lord for us in her own way. And that's one of my favorite songs. It'll bring you to tears. It's a beautiful song. But once we do Precious Lord, Mahalia Jackson also sang that. And she's amazing in herself. She stands for her own. When you think about old gospel music, early gospel music, many people say, oh yeah, Mahalia Jackson. But there was, in the 30s and 40s, there were groups like the Dixie Hummingbirds and the Clara Ward Singers and Shirley Caesar and James Cleveland. Of course, they became famous for their church solos, and they started the sermonizing, with the gospel music. And sermonizing involves a spoken narration, usually a story of redemption, while the choir singing and they stop and they say a little testimony type thing. That was Shirley Caesar and excuse me, my brain dead. James Cleveland.
All that excitement.
Oh my God, it's been going.
It's in store for you guys. You guys gotta come check it out.
Yeah.
Check what you got in store for you guys.
A lot of the R&B singers like Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, so many others started in church. They started with the gospel. So now it comes to a point where who do we portray in this program? Who do I pick? I've been singing with Edwin Hawkins since 2002.
I was gonna ask you, what do they do? Just get a bunch of names, throw it in a hat, and you just pick out which one.
I'm just saying where the Lord is leading me. He gave me the vision.
There you go.
He'll lead me. Terry's going to do Terry Lane will be doing Douglas Miller's "My Soul is Anchored in the Lord," and I love that song. It's because we are anchored in the Lord. How do we endure 400 years of enslavement, and how do we endure all of this, the atrocities that have been brought against African Americans, unless our soul is anchored in the Lord? How do you endure that? For me, I know all that I've been through. If it wasn't for my spiritual roots, I don't know how I could have made it. And God used gospel music to heal me from my afflictions that I had. I love gospel music. It just does something to me. So I could get stuck on gospel music all night, but we had to cut it short because we are limited in time. But African Americans, we all have very strong spiritual roots. And in spite of all that we've gone through, the Lord has kept us through it all. And so I'm simply selected a few songs. Renee Christian's going to be doing a live performance of Yolanda Adams in the midst of it all. Because in the midst of it all, God kept us. In the midst of it all, He did.
I don't like stuff I haven't seen or heard of, like that movie that came out, Hidden Figures. I didn't know they had the women that did all that work.
Hidden Figures ain't no joke. Yeah.
I know. I watched it. I seen how the way they all got down and
they hit that. They hit that. And I was thinking just this morning, as I was trying to bring together the cotton picking scene, people younger than me, they didn't know the songs. I've been knowing "Steal Away," and I've been knowing "Ride On," King G. I've been knowing those songs since I was a little kid. But I had to stop, and the Lord said, you know what, everybody doesn't know those songs. They don't understand the meaning of it. And as they were trying to grasp it, I realized they have to understand the meaning of these songs so that they can portray what took place. Okay, the secret codes behind it. And once you grasp that, now you can put your all into the production and what you're going to present to the audience. Our people have used music since the beginning, even back in Africa. We use music. It sounds like people think, they look at them, they thought we were heathens. Oh, yeah. No, those were messages. They could communicate. There was something going on there. I might not know what yeah means because I wasn't born and raised in Africa. But another person would know within their own tribe what was being said. Another person from another tribe could recognize what tribe you were based on the way you danced and certain chants that you did. So as you research this, you find out, oh my God, this is a tradition that's kept us all of these years. And we're happy as we get into modern day music, then it starts coming alive, through the lyrics and the musical styles younger people can relate to. Older people, we kick back, we can understand Albert King, that's been a while. But the younger kids, they want to hear the newer stuff. Okay. But when selecting, let's go back to gospel.
Go ahead.
All I could think to do when it came to gospel was to list a lot of the names of the gospel greats, because I could not select who in the world am I going to portray out here. in such a short period of time. And many of them through the Edwin Hawkins Music and Arts Love Fellowship I met personally. Donnie McClurkin. I mean, honored to meet all of these great gospel writers and singers. And I want to, Richard Smallwood, I want to honor them, but I didn't have the time. So we're going to list their names, and we're going to give just a sampling of what that's about. But the main thing is to understand that even with a sampling, many artists have made major contributions to our rich history, and their gifts they're just simply too vast to present in a small presentation. I remember Edwin telling me once, he said, Audrey, if you notice the songs that have stood the test of time, that have been with us for years and years and years, those old hymns, they're scripture-based. See, a lot of the pop stuff, yeah, it sounds good, it's got a good beat, you know, and it's catchy and all that, but you write a song that's scripture-based, it's going to last from generations to generations to generations, and it's true. That's what I've learned in my singing and my understanding and my participation in the gospel music. We moved on to classical. We even talked about classical opera singers, and I have a small video that I'm going to show of Roderick Crawford, and he is actually conducting Tchaikovsky's Symphony No. 4 in the Minnesota Orchestra. A black boy, a black man, young black man, I call him black, a young black man. He's a young man, maybe a boy compared to my age, but he's not a boy. That amazed me to see him, this classical music, and he's getting down. He is conducting a huge orchestra. I saw maybe one or two black faces in the whole orchestra, and here he is conducting it. He gets my due. He gets my props. I wanted to make sure I included him when I started talking about classical music. So then we move on down the road because we're going down memory lane, and it's a long lane. We move forward into the popular music, the R&B, and I had a lot of help with that. The early blues and jazz musicians were providing music and entertaining dance music in the clubs and stuff, but each new innovation that came forward was influenced by what came before. Okay, so for instance, I'm using Tasha Williams, a phenomenal singer, personal friends. She's going to do Billie Holiday's God Bless the Child. God Bless the Child that has this on. Everybody, a lot of people know Billie for the orchid she wore in her hair, but she was a phenomenal singer. Early gospel music and urban blues like Chuck Berry and Little Richard, they made popular stuff like, they called it the jump blues. And it was ultimately called rock and roll, which was probably one of the most popular musical styles that was ever invented, is rock and roll. But Little Richard and Chuck Berry, they started that jump music. Okay, they kicked off that rock and roll thing. That
I wouldn't know, but yeah, then now no.
Yeah. And then during the 50s and 60s, companies like Motown and Stax Records, they had so many solos that left their mark on this country. Artists like Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye, they transformed the music into soul music. And there's a video that I'm going to play that kind of, once again, like gospel music, who do you pick? Who do you highlight? And so I have like a medley of soul music, that Motown sounds that's going to be played. Sister Adele Simon is going to be joining Etta James. Oh, she's going to sing Go Blind, and she's a phenomenal singer. She has a beautiful voice. And so we're starting back then in the popular music. And then I have a wonderful friend, Jay Lamont. He's an entertainer. Jay is I wanted to call him a comedian, but he is an entertainer. Jay can do anybody. You name an artist, and he can do it. It doesn't matter if they do not even sing. If they're doing instruments, he does instruments with his mouth. if you ever get an opportunity to watch Jay Lamont live or to Google him on YouTube or Facebook, you are going to be blessed. He is amazing. So Jay sent me a little video, a little hello and congratulations, and he did a medley of songs.
Yes, he's right about that.
You heard it?
Seen the video, so I was like, well,
I
said, check it out. I go, yeah, but you guys got to just Google his name and then check it out.
Jay Lamont, Jammin' Jay Lamont. And so he contributed to it. He couldn't come up and do it live for me, but you're going to be blessed for what he sent me. And then the final presentation is going to be a familiar sound of the Supremes.
Okay.
We're doing Diana Ross and the Supremes plus one. Okay. And that consists of my sister, Carol Howard, and Kim Wright, and her daughter, my sister's daughter, Michelle, my niece, and Patricia Woods. And you're going to be blessed of the medley that they're going to present. And so there's a couple of other surprises that are going to be on the show, but I'm really excited. And I failed to mention in the beginning a monologue by Rhonda Crane, who she's the reason I sing. She's the reason I got off into the Music and Arts Love Fellowship Conference. And she's doing a monologue of slave ships. So we're kind of starting that early in the program. And she did a phenomenal job. Wish she could do it live, but she teaches in Berkeley and she can't get here in time enough. So we love her. I love you, Rhonda. And I thank her for her contributions. Many people have helped out with this thing.
Man, I mean, just hearing what Audrey has to say to everybody here at the Stockton and the area, I'm like I don't know what part of group you are or how they found you or who told who. I mean, you're doing it.
Yeah,
you're doing it. You're letting everybody know what you know, what you research, and you want to share it.
Yeah.
And the vision.
The vision comes from the Lord. The vision comes from the Lord.
Like I don't know who's who's your mentor or how they found you to keep you Modesto, and they need someone like yourself here to shine some of that stuff here sometimes here, because some of it, like you said, we don't know.
Yes.
Or they haven't heard it, or the younger versions haven't heard it.
Exactly. I've had my stay in Stockton. Back in my stay in Stockton, I wasn't doing things like I'm doing right now. Let's put it like that. Okay. But God delivers. He delivers, and He sets us free. And I've been free from that old lifestyle now for going on 18 years. And so it's awesome what God can use anyone He wants. Anyone He wants. And when I think about where I came from, I have the college degrees. I have a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Michigan. I hold two master's degrees, one in organizational diversity and nonprofit organization management. But I also have a degree in streetology, because I was out there on those streets acting a fool. And that's what I say, God delivers us. And once He cleans us up, He can use us and allow your past to catapult you into your future, the future that He ordained for you before you were even born. And so I'm excited because I've been wanting to do this for a while, and He's opening doors that I never imagined would open, and He's opening right here in Modesto. And wherever He's taking me, I'm ready for the ride, because God is going to lead me through whatever I do for the remainder of my years on this earth.
So yeah, just remind everybody where your event's going to be at.
This is going to be at the King Kennedy Center in Modesto. We are at 601 Martin Luther King Drive. It's on the west side of Modesto. The program will begin promptly at 6 p.m. this coming Friday, February 24th. And it's going to be an exciting show. We'll have a break in between. We'll have a little food for you, a little soul food. I'm looking forward to the evening. The closer we get, the closer we get. God leading you, you can't fail. Even though this is not a church event, I don't do anything with God's hands not in it. Okay, and so because of that, I'm excited about it. We are utilizing some help from the Boys and Girls Club. We're utilizing help as servers from my job, which is the Redwood Family Center. And those are women that have, they're in recovery and they're working on restoring their families. And so they always do help. They help me. Community service is what word I was trying to reach for. Community service whenever I need some help. And so they'll be there on hand. There's a lot of volunteers that are cooking. I can't think of the gentleman's name in the kitchen that's going to be cooking the food, but I guarantee you he can throw down. Sister Sterling, who's the president of our board, oh my gosh, she's amazing. She wears me out with her energy, and her organization is bar none. I just get jealous every time I see how organized she is. She makes me sick. But she's done the decorations, and she's just been my right hand, helping my vision come to pass. Deborah Jones Sullivan is my stage manager, and the other board members will be present. George, and there's so many. I don't want to start naming people because I'll forget someone's name, but they'll all be present to support. We recently did our Martin Luther King luncheon, and it was a huge success. And I opened up the Modesto B, and there was my picture. I'm like, oh, okay, so God's doing something with me. I don't know. I was singing. It was a huge success. We do it every year. And our next event will be the Juneteenth celebration, and that'll be coming up in June. If you check our Facebook page, King Kennedy Board of Directors Facebook page, the information for further events will be there. It's coming up in June. Juneteenth will be a wonderful event.
All right. You guys check it out for her event. I mean, like, I'm so blown with all this information she gave me. She's always giving me new information. I mean, if you haven't met her yet, you guys have get the chance to meet her if you come to the show. Check it out, and then get the chance to meet her. For you, like touching me and everybody's lives and everything. If there a way they can find you,
find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've got a Facebook page, and I'm always photographing mostly the Christian events and the musical events in the Bay Area. Facebook, you can reach out to me. I recommend, if you want to be my Facebook friend, that you inbox me and let me know it's you, because Facebook's done gone crazy with all these fake pages, and I'm afraid to accept people. I think it's a virus.
Yeah, she's right about that. You can never tell. Yeah. They'll say that, yeah, well, I know her, but she doesn't live in, I don't know, way out there.
Or why does a person have two pages? I'm already friends with this person. Why? You know what I'm saying? These Mickey Mouse invitation pages. Really?
Yeah, so just check it out on that. So is there like your message for the people out there?
My message is, this is Black History Month, and we get 1 month out of the year. We make history every single day of our lives. But it's good to share the traditions with our children. With budget cuts, when I came up, I remember we had to fight hard to get Black studies in the schools. I remember we had the first African American study. I'm from Michigan, but now, of course, with budget cuts, they start with the music department. They start with they cut back on the curriculum, and our children are not understanding the historical relevance of what our people have gone through. We live in that microwave. Everything is instant, and there's no struggle. There's no, it's important. The information that you learn Friday, the information that you learn through whatever Black History celebrations that you have attended, pass it down to your kids. Make sure that they understand who they are and what we went through to get to be the people we are today. We have not made it, per se, quote, quote, but we have had a lot of progress. We still got a long ways to go, in other words.
All right. There you guys have it. This is on Jose, with OJ's Juice Bar, and we're gonna close the show with that. Stay tuned for us next time.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, I stopped smoking cigarettes.
good.
Isn't that something?